Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all my blessed beloveds out there in living and thriving land. I'm Rusty. You're watching Living and Thriving with Rusty. And today, it's just a beautiful day. We have this really crazy storm haze. You really want to stay in your pajamas and read a book and snuggle and not participate in human responsibilities like, having to pay bills and things like that. But I have to adult, right? We all have to adult. Speaking of which, I woke up and as you all know, I have a really yucky back that we're trying to figure out why my spine keeps twisting. And I go to my Blue Rub Deep by doTERRA. Highly recommend. It doesn't smell as bad as Bengay and things like that, but it works really, really well. I am teaching classes, and so if you have interest on learning how to teach your own classes and learning how to have a supplemental income with doTERRA, links below, reach out, step out. Otherwise, it's just wonderful stuff, and I live a full, almost toxin-free life. And I'm grateful for that. And there's a lot of classes and a lot of learning and a lot of availability, flexibility, and tons of support. I mean, I have a supportive team. So great. So we are going to hang out today and wrap up the season on a bang. Yeah. So Eric's here, live and ready to rock and roll. And what a gorgeous background you have. What
Yes.
state or country are you in?
Well, it's interesting because this turned out being during my trip back to Michigan.
Okay.
I live in
Country.
I live in Colorado, but I'm originally from Detroit, and so I'm back visiting my family this week.
Well, that's a beautiful background. I'm kind of envious. I have nothing but pre-hurricane haze.
Oh no.
South Florida. You never know.
Yes. I got it.
So who are you? What do you do and what makes you you?
I am Eric S. Lee. I am a stress relief coach and also author. I just published my third book, which is entitled 29 Degrees, How to Live a Life of Inner Peace, Joy, and Purpose, regardless of circumstances. And I really just enjoy and have a passion for helping people live better lives, and more specifically, recently, helping them overcome stress and go deeper into inner peace.
Why do you do what you do?
I was inner directed. It was a message. It was a call for me. Decide that is hard. It's just, I think we all do have a purpose, and that is in the title of my book, obviously. And it's been a purpose for me my entire life, just to be a light for people and hopefully show them a better way. I'm in the later part of my life. I turned 60 this year. So it's really even more important for me at this stage to share the knowledge and wisdom that I've gained along the way. And again, just help people thrive.
Well, you don't look 60, so good genetics on your parents' part.
Good genetics and good habits as well.
Oh, habits.
Yeah.
Americans tend to be over consumerized. So what kind of habits do you offer or share with your clients to make sure that they live a healthier life?
Well, the other thing about me is that I'm also a certified personal trainer. And so I have a pretty healthy lifestyle. I work out regularly. I help other people develop workout strategies and also nutritional strategies to help them stay healthy and happy, because I think that does contribute to their happiness. I'm pretty active outdoors, being in Colorado now, so I mountain bike and I backpack and hike and fish and do all those things as well. And I just think all that contributes to being healthy and remaining youthful.
Well, and I think it's really funny because you're a little older than I am. And I will tell you, growing up in the South in the 80s when I was a little kid, um, the extent of your life after 29 was the polyester suit that you zip up with the little ruffly things and some bonbons and maybe As the World Turns, or what's that, Dallas, I think was the other one, and the TV tray. Remember the gold TV tray with the pretty little flowers on it? I mean, this was typical to every Southern home.
Yes.
But, like if you were a 29-year-old woman, you've already had your kids and you're
Yeah.
probably on your second divorce and the world just ends. And so that was
Right.
my inspiration to being a woman. And I'm not sure the male perspective, but it was probably pretty the same, except not the pink jump zippy thing.
You never know.
You know,
Don't be judgmental.
different strokes for different folks. But, I love the fact that I have more and more guests that are, older than I am, who look younger than me, which I love, and have this active lifestyle. Because when I was growing up, that wasn't something that people did after
Right.
30. I just turned 45 this year, and so I've got a huge life to live. I'm going to die with a whiskey and a cigar and a really good poker game at 105 because I'm going in that Smucker's jar. But anyway, I can't see myself mountain biking at 60. So that takes some huevos, senor.
It does. And last September, I had my first significant mountain biking accident where I broke 3 ribs, collapsed a lung, and ended up that picture that you saw of me was in the hospital, me having my 29 degrees moment, and I collapsed a lung and ended up in the hospital for 10 days. So yeah, stuff does happen. But
Well, that happened to me at a addiction concert. Not kidding. I broke 3 ribs.
Well, you were living. You were living to the fullest. Yes.
So mountain biking at 60, I mean, you've got to be like, woohoo! I mean, that's hard work.
I am that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I just love it. And I just took it up like 3 years ago. One of my personal training clients got me familiar with mountain biking, and I decided to give it a try because I'm just like that. I love exploring. I love experimenting. And that's the other thing I think that keeps us young, is constantly having our mind develop and learn new things and grow. And I just fell in love with it. My wife bought me a mountain bike for my birthday 2 years ago, and she regretted that in September. But she walked in the hospital room and she said, just so you know, your mountain bike is on eBay. You won't be riding that anymore.
Likes you, or your life insurance hasn't expired yet. I mean,
yeah, no. She was kidding, sort of. But yeah.
I bet you she spends a lot of time with a half eye roll with you.
She does. She does. But she appreciates it because I do stay healthy and there's never a dull moment, and I'm active, and she doesn't have to tell me to get off the couch, only sometimes, because I do enjoy my couch time too. Yeah, it works out.
Well, I think so, putting my silliness aside, on a serious note, which is really hard for me to do, I think that you have to have downtime. I think part of stress management and self-care is to take a day and stay in your pajamas and don't brush your teeth and read a book or play Scrabble or just, I think that's so important. And we fill our lives with such busyness. We neglect the time to let our body just rest.
Yes. And I'm with you. And I don't know normally, I guess I do sometimes take full days to do that. But part of my ritual is whenever I can, which is probably 3 or 4 times a week, I take a nap in the middle of the afternoon just to kind of shut down and
I've been fighting those since 1979.
Reset. Yeah. No, my kids, when they were young, they would fight the naps, and I just never understood it. And now that they're in their 20s, they're like, oh yeah, okay, we get the whole nap thing. Dad, you were right about that. And then the other thing, just to start the day with meditation, is something I do every day. And if I can get a second, just a micro meditation, just again to reset outside of the nap and just but to be awake and aware and just take in presence in silence is another good way just to shut down and reset for a little while.
I I get up stupid early. I get up stupid early o'clock just naturally.
Mhm.
Anywhere between 3 and 4:30, just natural. And so I've made use of that time. Back in the Victorian era, they used to call it the second sleep. So historically, you would get up, you would do dishes, tend the fire, feed the animals, whatever, and then go back to sleep until sunrise. I don't go back to sleep. I use that time for exercising and meditating and catching up on my work and things like that. So I find that around 1-ish in the afternoon, I have to take a little micro meditation moment
Mhm.
because, I've already worked a long day.
Right.
For people like myself, and there are a lot of me, believe it or not, God did not break the mold. Um, what do you recommend for eating habits? Because I'm a snacker, I'm an almond and cashew-aholic,
Mhm.
self-professed. And I find that if I don't have a snack around that time when I go to meditate and just reset, I'm grumpy.
I think that you've got a good strategy, and it's my strategy would be, and for most people, it's just to fuel throughout the day as you need it. And yes, probably two substantial, well-rounded meals is probably good. If you're going to snack with nuts and fruit are great. So you really are on the right path with that. And maybe two major meals and four small snacks like you had with the nuts and fresh fruit.
Yeah, see, that's perfect. I'm on
Yeah,
the right track.
you are on the right track.
For stress management, um, what kinds of tips, tricks, and things can people do right out of the gate? They don't need to download an app or go and buy a gym membership or spend any money. It's just top 5 of your favorite things to do to de-stress.
The first thing is to have somewhat of a plan on how you're going to manage that. And like you already have it, you're getting up early. And some people are getting up and starting their day in a rush. They're up, they're to the bathroom, they're brushing their teeth, they're in the shower, they're out of the shower, they're out the door, their day is gone and they're started. So if that's your life, let's just take 5 minutes or 10 minutes extra. Set your alarm clock that 5 or 10 minutes and get up. More would be optimal, but just 5 minutes just to get started. And just take a couple minutes just to think and soak it all in. Take in the day ahead. Plot down any notes that you need to be sure of that you take care of. And set intentions. Set positive intentions for those activities that you have throughout the day. See them going smoothly and go from there. If you can expand that 5 to 10 minutes to 30 minutes, which for many is a push because they don't like generally waking up early, a lot of people, that's okay. That's a long-term solution. But for right now, 5 to 10 minutes just to get your mind in the right mindset. Meditation would be great. And again, I don't want to go into a meditation seminar with this, but just to take 1 to 2 to 3 minutes just to focus on you being here and focus on your breathing and just the exercise of noticing any thoughts coming into your mind and saying, not now, I'm not ready for you yet. And of course, many people, when they first started, their mind's racing and another thought's going to immediately come. But just practice letting those thoughts naturally come and saying bye bye for now. And just noticing that little space between this thought leaving and the next thought coming. And over time, that one little space starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's, for me, meditation in a nutshell. So that's the first step, the few minutes in the morning. The second step is to also try to plan on an escape, either later in the morning, like you mentioned, early in the afternoon, just to get away for 5 minutes. Get away from your desk if you have a desk job or whatever your job is. Just if you can go escape to your car or go if there's a nearby park or just a nice little walk around the block, just again to decompress and let your mind be clear of everything that's going on and then reset those positive intentions that you set earlier for the rest of the day. Those are a couple things. Um, Physical activity generally, I think if you can work that in, whether it's a walk or a bike ride or just walking outside the office or at your desk, to stand up and just change your posture for a minute. Stand up for 5 minutes. Do 5 squats every hour just to get some physical activity in. Those are some of the things that I would suggest just for the maintenance of stress. A lot of times with the people I work with, it's a more of a mindset shift too, but we may want to go into that later on.
So I think that gardening is huge. I think planting and creating and growing and having that, to me, that's beyond meditation, because I'm a doer. I'm an A type. So I struggle with that laying down or whatever. So I find gardening very meditative. I find artwork very meditative. I live for my art. Music's huge. Throw on some tunes and dance around the house, man. You get your physical activity, you get your quiet time, because those words don't go in your head because you're mis-singing whatever lyrics you think they're saying. And
Mm-hmm.
and you're rocking out, whatever your music style is, it doesn't matter. Just throw it on. And I think those are huge, easy things to do for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. And you brought up meditation. I think that gardening is in itself a meditation. And then it starts to cross over with the concept of being mindful as well. And that's the other thing as a suggestion with people, to just be present with whatever it is you are, because sometimes someone will get into the gardening, but then they're pruning or whatever they're doing, but then they got work or whatever, the stress still coming into their brain. So if you can just be with that plant and just immerse yourself in the act of what you're doing while focusing on your breathing and taking in the sunshine or the shade or whatever environment you're in, and noticing the sounds that are all around you, and just let yourself be full of that moment of whatever it is you're doing, then that is great stress relief.
I also think boundaries are huge. We are in such a fast food dingy society. Like Pavlov rolls over in his grave going all the time because our phone is dinging and our smartwatches are vibrating and there's all this stimulation. And so since the Rona shutdown, I did a personal experiment. I actually went off of all social media for 21 days, which was amazing.
Mm.
And I stopped having my cell phone anywhere near me after 7 p.m. I don't even have my smartwatch on. Like it's all put away into my room. And I find that there are individuals in life that find that very offensive. Like I can't immediately be gratified. I texted you at 7:15 and you didn't text me back until 8 o'clock the next morning.
Wow.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just the way our world is right now. What kinds of things do you recommend in regards to social media and that kind of stimulation? I don't have cable TV, haven't had for 15 years, and I think I'm the happiest person on the planet. But that's my mindset. What is your perspective?
I'm aligned with you in setting boundaries, like a work day where it's okay, social media time is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And then I'm not going to go outside of that. Social media is different than emails if you're expecting an urgent email or something like that, or if you have kids and you want to make sure you're available for any emergencies for them. Yeah, but just the constant scrolling, it's a good idea to unplug and just be with yourself. Because with that, I mean, those get you into an addictive state. And you also mentioned cable TV, and that can also be in an addictive state. And again, some of the people that I work with, some of their stress is that they are in the wrong profession. And so they need to be taking action steps to relieve their stress, to move them into more alignment with who it is that they really believe that they are. And these addictive behaviors like social media and too much streaming TV and a bunch of other things that aren't productive for them keep them from taking the steps to move into the life that they want to move into. I talk to people about how I uh, wrote my last book, and I was a restaurant owner at the time I started actually physically writing the book. And I sat down with a spiritual coach and was talking about my desire to write this book that had been in my mind for 5 years at the time. And he's like, okay, there was a piano teacher who asked a student who was having problems practicing, do you have 10 minutes a day? And it's like, okay, yes, I can handle 10 minutes a day. Because sometimes people think there's this magical time where their whole schedule is going to open up and then they can step into the life that they really want to move into. When I basically wrote a book in 10 minutes a day over the course of a period of time until COVID hit and I could immerse a lot more time because everything shut down. But you can take the time that you normally would spend doing these things that you really aren't helping yourself with into moving into the life that's going to find that you're going to find more purpose and meaning towards. And that in itself, there's nothing like moving into the life that you feel passionate about and knowing that you are committed and you are actively pursuing it to relieve that inner nudging and stress. I call it divine discontent that's always there because you're not being the person that you really feel you can be.
Yeah, I have a fire in my belly, and that's why we're having this conversation. And so when you get to that place where it's exciting and it's hard. There's no easy way into living the life of your dreams. There's not. There's a lot of work and a lot of research and a lot of study, and in your case, a lot of physical exercise and maintaining your body and understanding the physiology of that and eating healthy and things like that. So it's not easy, but it's exciting. Like I get out of bed and I'm like, woohoo, I've got 12 people I'm interviewing today. Yeah.
Right. Right. That's great. Awesome.
But that's the whole intention behind living your passion, is to have that kind of enthusiasm and excitement. That's what you want in life. You want to live.
Right. Exactly. One of the most impactful books that I read was A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Are you familiar with that book?
Yeah, I like Victor.
Yeah, and I mean, he's coming from a concentration camp, and he's talking about psychiatrists and the therapy field, and how one of the mistakes he felt was the retracing past traumas to heal current pain, and that the biggest healer was a person aligning with their purpose and having a reason and a meaning for being here. And when someone can center their life around and immerse themselves in that, the traumas seem to naturally melt away. Not that there's not additional work that needs to be done, but the meaning and purpose part was the medicine.
Believe it or not, our hourglass is almost over. And
Oh,
I know it goes by really fast, doesn't it?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy fast. Let everybody know where they can find more information about you, how they can talk to you, connect with you if they have more questions.
The easiest way to get me is innerpeacetoday.com. There you'll find email contact. You can find my books. There's a blog post. There's videos. There's guided meditations. There's all types of free resources to help a person go deeper into their inner peace. And if they want to work one-on-one with me, there's contact information for contacting me by email there. And the email, just so you know, is eric@innerpeacetoday.com.
Eric, do you have your book with you?
I do. I do, but it's not in the room with me. I can run and get it right quick.
Go, 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 go.
Okay.
I'm going to pause. Everybody, I'm pausing so he can get his book. Back in a flash.
Okay, here we are. 29 Degrees, How to Live a Life of Inner Peace, Joy, and Purpose, Regardless of Circumstances, by Eric S. Lee. And that is available at Amazon.com. And you can also find it on the website as well.
Perfect. Eric, thank you so much for spending time with me today. And you know what? Be careful on the mountain bike trail, but keep it up. You do that.
Yes, thank you.
So don't tell your wife I said that. She might shoot me.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much, Rustie. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Eric.
Okay.
Have a good day. Bye. You're watching Living and Thriving with Rustie. I'm Rustie, and that was Eric from Colorado, but currently in Michigan with an excellent backyard. Oh my God, that is a goal right there. Mountain biking, bubble wrap first, then bike. Mommy's advice. Just saying. Eric's total testimony to that. 29 tips and tricks of living a better life. My God, isn't that what we do every day here at Living and Thriving? We try to live the better part of ourselves. And Eric has a cool book. Totally check it out. Links are below. He gave you his website. I have nothing more to say. It's just a beautiful day, and I'm going to go play. Know that you're loved. Know that you're beautiful. And yes, you knew I was going to say it. Be kind. Oh my God, it's such a simple thing. Smile. Buy a cup of coffee. Pay for somebody's lunch if you have the extra cash. Clean out your closet. We all need to do that. Donate your time. Go to the animal shelter and just pet a puppy. They need love too, you know. There's so many things that you can do to be a kinder and gentler person on this planet, and we need more of that. And, you know, as for television, kill it. Cut the cord. You don't need that in your life. You need to be kind and do something for your community. Until next time.